Hey Tamers, welcome to another deck list. Today we got the anticipated EX3 Virus or Dark Imperialdramon. And this deck, I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of a big letdown. It's very fun to play. It's just missing something. And we'll talk about it as we get through this deck list. So let's get into it. Alright, so this deck really works off on having the pieces you need in the trash, so you can DNA from champion all the way to mega, which is what makes it fun. However, you need pieces in your trash in order to do it, which is why we're playing 4 of the Demi-Meramons. Very expensive right now, I know, but I got them from, since the beginning. So Demi-Meramon from BT3 on deletion trigger, draw 1, then trash 1. So again, it's going to help you build up your trash. Not only build your trash, so this deck isn't really so much of, okay, I need to build my trash really fast. It's more of, I need to build my trash, but I need the right cards to be in the trash. Now for the level 3s, we got the EX3 Vmon. This is a very good card. On play, you may trash 1 card with Imperialdramon in its name or free in its trait from your hand. So you could trash another Vmon, you can trash a Wormmon, you can trash anything that's free in its trait if you're not trashing an Imperialdramon. And then when you do that, you can draw 2. And then the inherit is if you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gets 2000 DP, which is pretty good because then if you have your ultimates, they get 2000 DP and now they're swinging for 10k. So not bad at all. 4 of the EX3 Vmons. And of course, we're doing 4 of the EX3 Wormmons here. This one's cool too. On play, reveal 3 of the top cards of your deck. Add 1 purple or red card with free in its traits, or 1 card with Imperialdramon in its name among them to your hand, and trash 1 card among them, place the rest on the bottom. Good for searching and kind of getting pieces into your hand, and trash pieces into your trash. Really good cards. And then the last 4 rookies that I'm running, I'm doing 4 of the Gabumons. So this is Gabumon, when you attack, you draw 1 and then you trash 1 from your hand. Again, I do want to keep the gimmick of being able to trash cards. And what's great about Gabumon is you'll draw and then you get to pick what card you want to trash from your hand. I did try running 14, different rookies. You could also do Labramons if you want to do Labramon, so it's really cool. On play, you draw 1 and you trash 1. Obviously, you could do Psychmons, but then you really don't have to worry about Death X because you're not going to have a wide board. You're always going to have like 2, maybe sometimes 3 on a rare occasion, but you'll always have that 1, especially if you DNA all the way up to the Mega. So that's why I don't think Psychmon is really necessary for this list, at least. Level 4s, we're starting off with the 4 Shadedramon. So I'm going to read this effect once, and then Flamedramon has the same effect. When digivolving, activate one of the following effects. You may digivolve 1 of your other Digimon into a red level 4 Digimon card with free in its traits from your trash or its Digivolution cost. Or second one is you may DNA digivolve this Digimon and 1 of your other Digimon into a Digimon card from your hand for its DNA Digivolution cost. Then end of turn, you can DNA. So now that's what that does. And then the Flamedramon obviously does the same thing. It's just a purple, digivolve into a purple instead of a red. So the whole gimmick here thing is, if you're digivolving into 1, you have this one in the trash. You can digivolve your other rookie into Shade. And now you pay the 2 still. But then now you could activate his other one digivolving effect. You can DNA and then you can go ahead and DNA. So that's kind of the whole purpose of these champions here. So these you do want at least 1 of each in your trash. So then if you digivolve into the other one, you can get into the other one and kind of DNA like I just explained. Moving on, we're doing 3 Fugamons. And I actually saw some videos and I thought it was interesting. I did see some people playing Fugamons and I tried it out and it's really nice. The reason I say this is because you can DNA really quick. Not only that, you can actually digivolve on top of Emon. So the downside is you can only digivolve it on top of Emon. That's fine. It really doesn't matter because Fugamon is a 3 cost. So it really doesn't matter. You're dropping a level 4 for a cost of 3, which is always good. And then if not, what's nice too, you can just digivolve for 1, potentially memory choking your opponent. Key part of Fugamon we'll talk about in a bit is you'll be able to DNA much quicker. So let's finish off with the champions still. So we are running quite a bit of number of champions here. We're doing 3 of the Eismon Scatter Mode. 4 cost to play. On deletion, you draw 3 and then you trash 2. So this is a way to kind of search through your deck and also build your trash at the same time. Of course, I am putting one of the Eismon because it is limited. This one, since there's so many ways to trash, even if you're not trashing from this, you're still trashing from either Demimeramon or you're trashing from Gabumon when you attack. So it's very likely that you can play this and you can use this to DNA, so it's good. It is good. So this is my champion lineup. It's a hefty amount, but again, it's really nice because you're able to just kind of drop the Fugamons for 3. Moving on to the ultimates. So here's where we're going to start getting into a few combos and whole DNAing stuff. We'll start off with the Imperialdramons. Now the Imperialdramon, you Digivolve with a purple and a red level 4 for a cost of 0. When DNA Digivolving, you may play 1 Dino Beamon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So again, this is what I'm talking about. You need to have certain pieces in your trash in order for this deck to work. On deletion, you may play 1 Beamon from your trash without paying its cost. What's cool about that is their on-plays do trigger if they have on-plays. Inherit, well, this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, gain security attack +1. So this is awesome because now it's adding aggression to the deck. So we got 4 of those. And then, of course, the Dino Beamons, same thing with the whole DNAing, and then the on deletion, instead of playing the Beamon, you play the Wormon. This Inherit is I actually probably prefer this one because this one allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon so long as you have Imperialdramon in your name. Here we go with the whole DNAing, and we can talk a little bit about combos here just to get into these. So if you have these two, if you ended up, having to trash and then you played Eismon from being trashed, now you just Digivolve for 1 into the Fugamon, boom, and now you're able to DNA going into Dino Beamon or Imperialdramon. So again, this is a good way of doing this. And then of course as well, if you don't have a rookie, you could just drop this if you're at 3, drop the Fugamon for 3, and now you can DNA as well. So again, Fugamon is pretty clutch in this list here. Now here's where you can kind of DNA really quickly. If you do have 2 rookies and you're at 2, even if you're at 1, you can still pull this off. You can just go ahead and Digivolve into Flamedramon or Shadedramon in this case. Go to 2, you go to 1, you trigger 1 Digivolving, you Digivolve from your trash, Digivolve, you pay for the cost, so now they're going to go to 3, draw, and now you can go ahead and DNA and go into Imperialdramon and or Dino Beamon right there in that 1 turn. And then of course, if you end up doing that and you do have the Imperialdramon or the Dino Beamon in the trash, now you can play that and then you can DNA into the Dragon mode. And you did all that with having 2 memory. So it's explosive, it really is. Just the downside is this deck doesn't really have removal, and that's what kind of ruins it. So let's move on to a level 6s. We got 4 of the Dragon modes from EX3. It's pretty good. So there is some sort of removal here. We'll talk about the downside. So DNA Digivolve from level 5, red and purple. So again, I just kind of explained how you can do that all in 1 turn. When DNA Digivolving, your opponent chooses 1 of their Digimon and deletes the rest. So it's like they kind of gave us removal, but not really. The reason I say that, let's say, especially if you're going against Examon, let's say, okay, well, I'm not going to choose Examon because I can just evade. I'll choose to protect, my Cordramon, who's a blocker, and now that Cordramon doesn't get deleted. I'll activate evade with Examon, and now Examon's ability kicks in, and now he unsuspends himself, and now he suspends you, and now you're not able to attack. Yeah. So anyway, after that, you get Blitz, which is good because now you did all that stuff, and if you weren't able to attack, that kind of blows. So you can do all that, and then you can Blitz, and then you can swing, and when you attack once per turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP for the turn. Then you may Digivolve this Digimon into Imperialdramon Fighter mode in your hand for its Digivolution cost. So now you can actually go all the way up to Fighter mode from 2 champions. That's insane. It really is. It's insane. And then the other 6s that we're running 3 of the Fighter modes. This one, so when you Digivolve for 2 if it contains Dragon mode. So now when you end up doing the whole DNA combo, you Digivolve, you swing with the Dragon mode, you Digivolve, and now it costs 2. What's cool about this one is it has piercing. So what's awesome too is if you have the Dino Beamon in here, you're attacking unsuspended Digimon and you're getting piercing. And if you have Imperialdramon, now you're getting piercing and security attack +1. So it is busted. So when Digivolving, you may return one Imperialdramon Dragon Mode from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck to prevent your opponent's security effects from activating for the turn. So this is also very, very good because you spent all that effort into getting all the way into fighter mode. You swing, you can check up to 2 and delete a Digimon with piercing, and you don't have to worry about option cards. However, it's just that one turn. Even if you do survive, next time you attack, now you still got to worry about option cards because you don't have a fighter dragon mode to return to the bottom of your deck. So it's kind of like a one of that you can 100% kind of do, and you don't have to really worry about getting deleted. What is cool though is that sometimes when you do attack, this can go up to 17,000 DP, because here's the one thing that I'll talk about is the dragon mode says this Digimon gets 2,000 DP for the turn. So since you do Digivolve, it's considered the same Digimon. You didn't DNA. So now he's getting plus 2,000 DP, making him a 15 hitter. And then if you do have the Vmon, you get another 2,000, making him a 17,000 DP swinger. And you don't check option cards. So it is fantastic. It is. So those are the level 6s. For level 7s, we're just running one of a Death X. If you don't have a Death X, you can put in here, I would probably put in a Crimson Blaze, because if you're going against decks like D Brigade and they, flood your board, you have no way of kind of wiping everything at one go. So Crimson Blaze would be good if you don't want to run Death X. Death X, I'm not going to get into it too much because every decklist that you see usually has a Death X. But it is for a reason. So Death X is really just to kind of help control the board, help control aggressive decks, and kind of slow down other decks. So one Death X, you don't need more than one, just because you're always drawing and you're always trashing however you see fit. You're not trashing straight from the deck. So just one. Moving on to Tamers, we're doing 2 of the ties. BT1 tie, start of your turn, it sets you to 3. And then if you have a red Digimon in play that has 4 or more sources underneath, it gets security attack +1. So if you do manage to get that whole stack with the fighter mode, you're going to get security attack +1, +2. If you do end up having another one, now you got +3. I did think about making a kind of more aggressive OTK style fighter mode for this, and kind of just adding more ties and adding plugins to help them out. I'll mess around with that and we'll see how it goes. So just 2 of the ties for now, and then moving on into the option cards, we are doing 1 Night Raid because it's pretty good. If, for example, if you're at 4 and you already have a red champion, you play a Night Raid, you go for 2. Then you can just bring back a Gabumon, go into Shade, and now you can start off your DNA chain. Even if you are at 3, you can still do this because it costs 2. You Digivolve for 2. It's going to pass turn, which is totally fine because you're going to be able to activate all your stuff even though your turn has passed, and you still be able to swing. So 1 Night Raid is pretty good. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but these option cards here, it's really up to how you see fit with how you're playing it. You can always change these for almost anything else, but we'll get there. So we're playing 1 Jack Raid just because you do fill up your trash fairly quickly. Even the security effect, if you do swing into it, now you lose 2 memory. It's kind of like a Hammer Spark, so it's not bad to run. I did have 2 and it was working out. However, when I was first trying this deck, I really needed removal, and that's what this deck really needs, removal, which we'll get into some removals. Another one that I'm playing is Glaive Memory Boost. So this one, you can replace it for Calling from Darkness. However, I don't like deleting my Digimon because this whole deck list, you need 2 Digimon to DNA. And if I'm deleting something, now it's kind of backtracking myself and where I want to go or where I want to be. Clave Memory Boost does the same thing as Calling from Darkness, where you do play it, you return one purple Digimon from your trash to your hand, and then you can gain the memory delay after that turn for 2. So it's kind of doing 2 things at once. Get something from the trash, and then next turn now you have more memory to play with. Especially since we're only doing 2 ties, we kind of need as much memory as we can get. But you can definitely switch this with Calling from Darkness. You can switch Jack Raid for Deathclaw. That's another good one that people are running. Then the last 2, I'm doing 2 Gaia Forces. I just feel like this helps with removal. And there was certain instances where Death X was on the board and I had no way of swinging over it unless I had my fighter mode, and if I had Dino Beamon, and if I had Imperialdramon or Vmon in order to get up to 17,000 DP, and then being able to swing over an unsuspended Digimon. It was too situational to run over things that are, at a high level and unsuspended. So just Gaia Forces. Now, Gaia Forces with Examon are just absolutely useless. I'm not going to lie to you. You just play a Gaia Force and they evade. So these do kind of become useless with Examon if you do go against it. So you could definitely choose switch it for Crimson Blaze, and you can do a Pyrosphere or Fireball. Again, really up to you how you want to run it. I will try to do a more OTK aggressive one. See if I can make it a little more aggressive, because I'm kind of upset this deck. I don't know. This deck was kind of hyped, but it's underperforming. And since it's underperforming, I'm like, man, I really want to get it to like perform and like be where I want it to be. So I'll keep messing with it, and we'll see how it goes. But next, Examon, Dragon Lynx, Bloomlord, those are all disgusting deck lists that I have here for you guys. Check those deck lists out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.